Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Black and White. Today we are going to talk about the 5 Disney Value Resorts that are on property and which ones are our favorite and which ones are our least favorite. There's no real difference between a lot of them. They're all very good. It's just a matter of preference, and we're going to walk you through and tell you about as much as we can and know about these resorts. If you don't know, the Disney Value Resorts are the more wallet friendly to everyone's pockets as far as when it comes to staying on Disney property. These resorts consist of Pop Century, Disney's Art of Animation, and the Disney All-Star Resorts, which are 3 resorts in one area that are labeled as sports, music, and what's the other? Movies.
Okay, so what is your favorite of the 5?
Well, my favorite right now is probably going to be Art of Animation because I do like the suite option that resort gives, and it has its close proximity. It's actually on the Skyliner line, so I like it because of the space that the suites do have available. Even though those are iffy because they're actually priced moderate way instead of actually being a value resort.
Yeah, the suites can get very expensive. Art of Animation is a great resort. The theming is just on point. So on the side of the suites, you have the Cars suites, the
Finding Nemo
suites, and the Lion King. And then one wing of Art of Animation is the Little Mermaid rooms, and they are regular value rooms. Like we said in the last video, we did have a chance to stay in the Cars suite, which was great. The theming over there is amazing. Yeah. When we love to go to the Cars area and walk around just because it reminds us of being in Cars Land in California, which we miss so much. I wouldn't say that art is my favorite value, though. So my favorite is always going to be Pop, and I know we talked a little bit about that in the last video, but it's just, for me, it's the last resort that I stayed in with my mom, and we had our girls' trip there, and then our daughter was born there. So for me, Pop is just special in that way, but it's also on the Skyliner, so it has that convenience. I think just the layout, every Pop just works for me, and I don't know. We've stayed in the Little Mermaid rooms a handful of times, and they're nice. I just don't like them better than Pop, and it's just a personal preference. Like, I don't know. Do you like the Mermaid rooms better than you do Pop rooms?
I would prefer the Pop Century Resort over staying in a Mermaid room because the way they redid the Pop Century rooms, you seem like you have more room in that style of room than the Mermaid room. I mean, Mermaid room is great. It's perfectly themed. I love the theming of it.
Right.
But if I really want a quick stay at a value resort, I will prefer Pop Century over Art of Animation if I can't get a suite.
And the Pop Century rooms are nice. When they redid them, they now have the wood floor. You know, they took out all the carpet.
And the Murphy beds.
So, yeah, you have 2 queen. Are they queens?
I believe so.
So the Murphy bed, yeah. So when it's pushed up, that has your table. And then when you pull it down, it's the bed. That can get a little monotonous sometimes because if you, like, the thing that we run into is, like, one kid is still asleep and one's awake and one wants to eat and the other's still asleep and you need the table but the other's still asleep. So that can be tricky sometimes. But the rooms feel very spacious and clean. And there's a big area for you to put, like, we bring a lot of our own food, snacks and breakfast and stuff like that. Our kids have food allergies, so we bring a lot of stuff, and there's plenty of room for that, and there's a lot of space in the bathroom area, which I really like. So I think they did a great job when they redid those rooms.
And then right after that, we'll jump right into the All-Star Resorts. And the All-Star Resorts, like I said, they are a series of 3 resorts combined into one large resort. And the resorts are, like we said, the sports, the movies, and the music resort. And the only thing I don't like about All-Star is the distance from the park. No, it's the distance from the park.
Okay,
The
I
bus,
can agree with that. I agree.
I don't mind. I don't mind finding other ways of getting to the parks. I don't rely on the buses.
Right.
For the
But
most
some
part.
people do, so that
Yes.
can be a big deal for them. Yeah, All Stars are located pretty close to Animal Kingdom, but pretty far away from everything else. So first you come to All Star Sports, which we said we'd spent quite a bit of time there. I can't remember, was that room updated when we stayed this last time?
I believe that room was, and no, I take it back. Sports was not.
Okay.
Movies was.
And if you're looking for a family suite, music, All Star Music does offer some family suites. They're a little bit older than what Art of Animation has, but it's an option. Then after sports, you come to music, and then after that, down at the end is movies. The bus system for me can be a bit much because they share buses. So I guess the best place would be
Well,
sports. You get picked up first.
It really also depends too, because it's kind of how I feel about the monorail line. It's really about what you prioritize. So, like, if you want to be one of the first ones to get on the bus, then go ahead and stay at sports, because sports you'll get a seat because that bus is coming to you first. Because they actually go in that lineup. It's sports pick up first, and then they go to music, and then they stop off at movies, and then finally to the destination. That's probably the only thing that gets a bit tricky. Even though, in my opinion, movies is the best of those three.
I agree.
Because it's kind of like that process of, like, sports was the first one, then came music, and then came movies. So everything that you didn't get right with the first resort, you did with the second resort, and then everything on and on, so forth and so forth. Which is one of the reasons why I would say Pop Century became such a great resort, because they were able to take everything that the All-Star Resorts was missing, and they place it at Pop Century, because the layout is pretty much identical.
Yeah. Staying at sports gives you can tell the resort's been there a while. There's nothing wrong with it. We didn't have any problem staying there. It's still a great stay. It feels a little older. So when we try to book a value, we will try to get Pop or Art first. And if we can't, then we'll take an All Stars, and that's fine.
I mean, at this point, we take whatever really we can get our hands on for a discount. So.
Yeah. And kind of like what you said, it is. I mean, it's easier to drive to the parks sometimes, honestly, rather than take that bus system.
But other than that, the resorts, there is nothing wrong with these resorts. The pools are great in all of them. Our kids love swimming anyway. But the thing about the value resorts is none of the value resorts have a slide. So that's something that some people kind of get taken back by, because there's slides at the other resorts, but you get to value, there are no slides. And the best thing about it too is that there's options. There's at least 3 slides at every value resort, which is also great at the same time. So, but other than that, I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about values except for the proximity to the park and sometimes the bus situation at All Star. But of course, the top 2 is going to be Pop Century and Art of Animation.
And they're both on the Skyliner. They share the same Skyliner station, so it's right in the middle of the 2 resorts. And the Skyliner is great. Anytime you can stay on the Skyliner, that's nice. It does make it a little bit more difficult to get a room at both of those for that reason. But then, you can always check. Caribbean Beach is also on the Skyliner, so if you wanted to jump up to a moderate, that's an option. But yeah, to me, I just think that Pop is always going to be my favorite. We know our way around that. We've stayed so many times. I like to joke, I think I've stayed more nights at Pop Century than anyone in the world. That's how many times we've stayed there. Because we've been going since, I think, the year after it opened. I took my kids, my girls, and then the last place I stayed with my mom. So, yeah, we pretty much know that resort.
I mean, we've stayed there quite a few times for extended. I mean, the longest we've stayed, again, a different time of our life. We actually stayed at Pop Century for about a month.
It was a month.
It was like a month long. That was a month long stay at that one resort by itself. And no complaints over here. I mean, I love staying
No.
on my property. I mean, it did get a little monotonous. I think that's when I started to fall out of Pop Century because
Okay.
I was seeing it every day.
Yeah.
And it just got kind
It
of
would, yeah. I mean, I can see where, but that stay was less stressful for us because we stayed in the same
Mhm.
room. It was in the dead of summer though, and I don't know how we get ourselves into these situations, but we had sold a house, and we were buying a house, and at first we only need somewhere to stay for like a week
It was like
before we
2 weeks or something.
maybe
like
2
that,
weeks, and so we booked Pop Century. I was 8.5 months pregnant then, I guess. Well,
Because
8 months pregnant.
in all actuality, we were thinking that the closing would take place really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be in the house, we'd be settled. She was due to have a baby at the end of
Mhm.
July, everything like that. And then all of a sudden it was like, the closing got pushed back, this got
Yes.
pushed back, and next you know, the realization is, she's gonna have this baby, and we're still staying at the Pop Century, and
Yeah.
then we're not gonna close until after she gets out of the hospital.
Yeah,
with the
this one
baby.
was not our fault. We had a closing date on the new house, and it really was just a week or two that we needed somewhere to stay. But then it was like, oh, we have to push it back another week. I can't remember even why they had to push it back. But it was pushed back another week and then pushed back another week. So we did stay. What day did we close on our house? It was August 7th. So
Yeah.
we had checked into Pop Century July 7th.
Yeah.
I'm almost
something
positive
like
that's
that.
what it
It was
was.
after the 4th of July, I know that for a fact. So, yeah.
Okay, so we spent time there, and staying in those small rooms. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother you being in a small. Yeah, it doesn't bother
It
us.
doesn't bother me because
Mhm.
at the same time too, we're not the type of people that's really going to sit in the room.
Mhm.
So we're out all day, all the
Doing
time
stuff.
anyway. So
Well-
really, the resort is kind of like that's that rest period or whatever the case might be.
And that was dead of summer, and I was very pregnant, so I guess I probably wasn't doing a whole lot of anything. But yeah, so then we had to schedule our induction because my babies don't want to come out on their own. So we had to schedule the induction, and then we scheduled that. We went to the hospital, got induced in the evening,
Mhm.
which was a new experience for me, and had her the next day, stayed the night, left the hospital the next day. So we brought her back home to our room.
And,
So her first day home was at Pop Century.
and literally, like she missed a lot because of course she's having a baby. But we went to the local hospital, Celebration Hospital, which
Mhm.
is right across Disney property. And I remember, like, as we're going through this inducing and we're waiting for a baby to come out, and I look out the window and there are fireworks going on, and I'm just like, wow, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
after a few days in the hospital, we ended up.
I didn't say a few days.
Well, it was kind of like it was a 3-day process.
I was.
But we took her back to the Pop Century,
Mhm.
and it was kind of crazy too because there were cast members that saw us and realized, like, hey, we came in and she was pregnant, and now we come in again and there's a baby.
Yeah.
So they took the time to like come up to us, and we told them the story, the
Mhm.
situation, and that's kind of where we got some special treatment. We got a Duffy bear.
Yeah, they gave us the baby Duffy, a balloon bouquet.
Mm-hmm.
They took a couple pictures in the lobby. I never ever got to see those pictures.
And then they gave our daughter her first little nickname. They called her Pop Tart.
Pop-Tart.
And so it kind of stuck. So after that, we already knew right then and there, it's like, okay, we're going to come to Pop Century every year for
Her
her
birthday.
birthday.
And we do, and I posted on the Pop Century Facebook page. I think it's Pop Century Friends. I can't remember what it is, something like that. So if you've ever seen that, that's our baby.
That's her. Yep.
Yeah. Her name is Calypso Bell.
Mm-hmm.
So we're big Pirates and Beauty and the Beast
And
fans
we're Disney
for
people
special reasons.
all the way. Yeah.
Hmm. And then our son came. Our surprise came 2 years later.
Yep. April 15th.
Yeah, his name is Titan. So, yeah, we got really off topic there for a minute, but back to the value resorts.
Yeah, I mean, as far as it goes with the value resorts too, like you're gonna get what you're kind of paying for. If you
Mhm.
wanna have a budget friendly vacation, to me, I always say value resorts are definitely for people who are experienced in a way. Like you're just in and out. You
Mhm.
want to go to the parks. You're not looking for a fantastic meal. You're not looking for a lot. I mean, Disney's top notch no matter what, but
Mhm.
you can definitely tell the difference between staying at, you know, a Pop Century resort versus staying at, you know, Caribbean Beach or anything like that. But
Mhm.
you know,
And I'll take a value all day long, just because I'm not there that much. I'm not there enough to care. I'm gonna sleep there.
so if I had to list my favorite resorts, which obviously this is where the difference is going to be, I'm going to say Art of Animation, Pop Century, All Star Movies, Music, and then Sports.
Okay, well then I'm gonna say pop, art, movies, sports, music, and I put sports ahead of music just because of the bus situation, not because I like the resort anymore. But yeah, so hopefully the next video we're gonna talk about moderates,
Yeah, we'll definitely jump into the moderates on that one.
and then we'll make one about deluxe resorts as well. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys later.